And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us today. It's a beautiful day the Lord's made. We're going to enjoy this day, and we've got our ATV pulled out here, and I'm telling you, I can't count how many times I'm on this ATV every day around a farm. This thing is the with a capital T-H-E, this is the workhorse on a farm. And if this thing ever quits, and it's getting old, this is a 2006 model Honda Foreman ES four-wheel drive, 500cc. We've had this thing for years and years, and we have done our dead level best to keep it maintained, keep the oil changed in it, keep the oil filter changed, keep the air filter, you know the routine. Keep everything done it to make this thing last as long as we can. Because if you are a small family farm and your small farm budget, if you want your farm to keep floating, we got a sheep over there baying. You cannot run out on every whim when you want something and buy a new ATV or something like that. You've got to make your purchase decisions wisely. And when you make those purchases, do everything in your power to make them last as long as they will last. That being said, this thing's getting pretty old. It's still running good for now. So we are, just because I'd like to have a small side-by-side, you know, a 500cc and up, 750, 1,000, side-by-side with a little dump bed on, just because I would like to have one does not mean it's responsible for me to run out and buy one. When I've got a perfectly running ATV sitting here. Now, will the day come we have to get rid of this thing and go buy something else? Yes, I'm sure it will if time goes on and we continue to farm and our health holds up. There will come a point where we have to sell this thing for parts or whatever, junk it, and buy a new workhorse for this farm. And I'm pretty sure the next time it will not be a four-wheeler with handlebars. It will be a side-by-side with a little dump bed on it to haul our rotational grazing equipment around and stuff like that in. Right now, I'm taking my 1 7/8 ball hitch off my. Yesterday, I used our pull-behind brush hog, the Agri-Fab rough cut brush hog. And I mowed 2 sections of our pasture, not hay fields, pasture. Clipped them. Clipping them will really stimulate growth, especially coming out of this drought. Well, we're still in the drought. I shouldn't say coming out of it. But since we finally started getting a little bit of rain, to stimulate those grasses to grow. The sheep's not been on them in a little over a month, and I just keep dropping things. We clipped 2 of our pastures for the sheep. Now, we differentiate between pastures and hay fields. Okay, what we clipped was pastures. And they're looking good to stimulate some new growth to come on since the rains finally started coming and stuff's starting to grow decently now, the grasses. So we clipped them in hopes that'll really stimulate some new green growth to move those sheep on too soon. And we're about a week away from moving them from where they are now. We'll be moving them on a new pasture, and it's looking a lot better already. We're getting ready to hook our North Star sprayer up. Work around a hay farm is never done. If you think growing premium quality hay is only all about this sitting back and watching it grow, and then come cutting time, go cut it, ted it, rake it, and bale it, put it in a barn, and then sit back again until it grows to the next cut height. You're sadly mistaken. You can do that if you just want whatever grows in your field and you're satisfied with mediocre hay or junk hay or, you know, whatever. But if your expectations is premium quality hay, there's no such thing as just sitting back and waiting. Everybody knows we had a foxtail infestation last summer. Foxtail comes on midsummer and later. That's when you really start seeing it. We sprayed a pre-emergent herbicide in Prowl H2O back in April. And the foxtail we have is called Knotroot Foxtail. It will spread from seed, but it also spreads from the rhizomes and the roots. And that is the worst kind of foxtail you can have. And I'm hoping this Prowl does the job. Because of it, what we have is Knotroot Foxtail. I'm still skeptical. I don't know. We're trying it. Everything I read says that will not get rid of it on your first spraying or treatment. You have to keep. Somebody needs to give them a muffler. Good grief. Go to the muffler shop, dude. Okay. Everything I read says with Knotroot Foxtail that you just have to take the Prowl H2O and just spray it spring, after first cut spray it again, after last cut of the year spray it again, and you just keep punching it time after time, and little by little it's doing its work and eventually it'll be gone. From what I understand, every time you spray it, you're going to see less and less of it until you eventually get rid of it. I hope that's what's going to happen, because foxtail in our hay is a no-go. And foxtail, some cattle and sheep and goats will eat foxtail, they don't mind. But if you're talking selling any of your hay to horse owners, it's a no-go. So, and really to me, I don't want it in none of our hay. Even if we were just feeding this hay only to our sheep, I still don't want it. It wouldn't be detrimental where I just left it and didn't cut it no longer. I'd still cut it if it was only for us. But we want our hay to be what our customers has expected from us in the past. So we're getting rid of it, doing our very dead level best. Will it work? That's yet to be seen. We are preparing to hook up our North Star sprayer. Stay with us. We've got our little North Star 21, 22 gallon sprayer. I'm not sure the exact gallon. I know it's, I think 22, I think. If you have small acreage, hay fields or whatever to spray, and you don't want to invest thousands of dollars in a sprayer, about $350, something like this, for this little pull behind North Star sprayer. And it sprays like 2.5 gallons per minute, something like that. This thing has proven to be awesome. I used this thing a couple days ago for a couple hours spraying under our electric fences, our pasture fences, so I don't have to weed eat them continually. We have way too much fence row to just spend day after day after day weed eating it. And I hooked this thing up and used the wand. It does have the little booms, and then on top of that it has a little spot sprayer. You can ride along on the ATV and spray out of it. Fantastic. This thing has proven worth every single penny we paid for it. Okay, we're going to get our Prowl H2O mixed. Last summer, late last summer, our main hay plot, test plot, where we have had it for years, has no foxtail in it. We expanded that test plot going off the hill a couple years ago. It's got foxtail in it. And we're going to spray that for pre-emergent. We'll probably just go ahead and spray the whole test plot because it will stop any other weeds that's getting ready to emerge in that test plot, stop them in their tracks. Is it going to stop this knotroot foxtail? Yet to be seen. But we're going to give it our very best effort. We're expecting rain tomorrow, and we are using Prowl H2O, pre-emergent herbicide. And our results on the knotroot foxtail, I don't know, but we're going to have some advantages of using this. Any type of horse nettle or anything that's a late summer weed that's getting ready to start germinating and coming on and start to grow, this will help with that as well. So, and pre-emergent, we just started using a pre-emergent this year. In the past, we've always used a post-emergent like 2,4-D, crossbow, things of that nature. Pre-emergent may replace all that stuff depending on how well it does this year. And because you can get rid of so much more stuff and not have to wait on it to come out, you can go ahead and pre-treat it. Okay, we have already put about 6 gallons of water in our tank, and I need some gloves. Be back with you. We have our Prowl H2O mixed in our tank. We filled the tank about 1/3 of the way with water. Then we added our pre-emergent herbicide. Then we filled it the rest of the way with water. And it's ready to go. We're heading to the test plot first. Let's all cross our fingers and hope this Prowl H2O does something, at least knocks it back on our foxtail. And let's hope it controls all the other weeds, the plantain, the horse nettle, any other kind of weeds that's getting ready to pop up in these fields that's starting to germinate for late summer weeds. It's a nice calm day. There's not a lot of wind blowing right now. It's very calm. And if we encounter any breezes, we'll immediately cut the sprayer motor off and just sit there to let breeze passes and then start back. Be safe with it. And so it ain't blowing around on us and all that. It stays where it's being sprayed. These booms are very, very close to the ground. So the drift effect is very minimal to start with. But in a good steady breeze, that can still drift. So we're going to be careful with it. And we've mixed this stuff fairly strong. And the Prowl says you need rain on it within 7 to 10 days. For best practice, for this stuff to work the best it can, we're hoping it rains tomorrow. Within 24 hours is when we like to spray it. So let's cross our fingers and hope it does rain tomorrow, because here we go. This Prowl stuff's not cheap. It's not as expensive as like Resilon or something like that, but it's still, for a small family farm, it's money going out that you really hope does its job. Let's get started. We are reloaded and headed to the West Field. It is hot out today. I would say we'll get a pop-up thunderstorm this evening, as hot as it is. Typically when our temperature gets this hot, we get pop-up thunderstorms. And that would be great. Man, the Timothy is coming up in our main hayfield like you would not believe. There's more Timothy in this main hayfield than there ever has been. And that's contributed to our frost seeding and the sheep being on it. Let me show you. Look at all this Timothy. It's just everywhere. I mean, Timothy galore. It's shorter than the fescue and orchard. And you can see our orchard, look at that. Way past prime. Ain't nothing we can do about it. Look at all that Timothy though that's coming on. You see the really dark green? That's Timothy. And boy, is it coming on strong. The Timothy's looking really good. Hope we can cut this main hayfield like yesterday. It is what it is. Let's go spray the west field. Okay, here we go, west field. This west field had some decent foxtail in it last year. And we're hoping to eliminate that. I've got doubts. I hope my doubts are proved wrong. Just keep punching it, that's all I know to do. This west field, if you go back into our playlist, you can find about 3-4 years ago, yeah, at least 4 probably, where we reclaimed this field. It had not had nothing done to it in years and years, and it had grown up pretty bad. And we started making a hayfield out of it. And it's took a lot of sweat, blood and sweat. Excuse me. It's putting out some good hay now. I kind of know where the foxtail infestations were the worst. You'll notice me slow down in some areas. I'm just giving it a little extra zoom on it. Okay, we're empty. Perfect coverage. All right, let's head to the barn. Second application of Prowl H2O to hopefully control our Knotroot Foxtail is done. At least in the test plot and the west field. Not the main hayfield. We've not cut it yet. We can't till the weather clears. So we may be using this sprayer between then. So we're going to go ahead and rinse it out good. Fill it pretty full of water. Dilute what's in it really good. Run water through the lines and spray it all out. And then put the sprayer up for the day. Spraying pre-emergent Prowl H2O in the test plot and the west field's done. For the second application, we've sure got our fingers crossed that this does something to this Knotroot Foxtail. And I'm here in our main hayfield. You can see it. You can see yourself, it is past mature. The stem, the seed heads are turning brown, except for the timothy, and I'm standing right here in a big old patch of timothy. Ain't that pretty? Big timothy seed head. It's seeded out, and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Rain, rain, rain. It's supposed to rain some pretty significant chance of pop-up thunderstorms this evening, and like a 70% chance of rain tomorrow. And then we have like 2 to 3 days of dry weather, then rain 60, 65, 70% again for 1 day, then back down to 10, 15% for 2 or 3 more days, then another chance, 75 and up percent chance of rain. We get 2 or 3 dry days and then rain, 2 or 3 dry days and rain. That's not enough. We gotta have 5 days straight with no rain. And it is what it is. This field right here is just gonna have to wait. I mean, it's for our own use, so we're not gonna be selling this. The undergrowth in the main field's finally coming on somewhat from the rain, but it's a day late and $1 short. The damage was already done from the drought through April and May. And all we can do is do our dead level best to make the best out of this we can. And then ask the good Lord for a favor for perfect growing conditions for a second cut. That's all we can do. So we'll be back with you. It's 2 days later, and I'm out here with Waya. She's just an attention hog. Ain't you, big girl? Ain't you, big girl? You just attention hog. Okay, we're out here. It's 2 days since we're last filming, where we sprayed Prowl H2O. And yesterday, we made a rotational move of our sheep. You can see them here behind us. They've been moved next to the test plot in the front pasture where it's too steep. Now and Lola says howdy. He has to make sure everybody hears him. Okay, he crows nonstop all day long. I've never seen a rooster crow as much as that rooster does. And he's got a set of lungs on him like an opera singer. Anyway, and this one right here's got a bark on her like a 500-pound gorilla. Don't you, big girl? Okay, see, she just wants petted. She'll go lay down a minute, she'll come right back. We moved our sheep up here yesterday. Me and Susan done our rotational move. And these are hair sheep. They're Katahdin hair sheep. And if you do some research into Katahdins, what is a Katahdin breed? How did that breed come about? And if you're familiar with geography, the Katahdin Mountain in Maine, that's where these sheep originated from, the breed. And they're a cross. The guy that developed them just kept coming up and doing research and experiments and breeding this and this and this till he come up with a Katahdin breed. And they're a hair sheep, which means you do not have to shear them, or you're not supposed to. However, every now and then I have found out in the Katahdin breed that every so often some of the wool sheep breed that's way back in their genes will surface a little bit, and you'll have a few that just don't shed good like they should. We've got 2 that way, 2 out of 4. And they have just not shedded their winter coat like a Katahdin should. They've got some of those old time genes from way years and years and years back that's kind of surfacing a little bit in those 2 to where they're not shedding very well. I don't want to pass that gene on in our flock. I want sheep that slick out during the summer and get rid of that winter coat easily, and they slick up and look really nice during the summer. I don't want them hanging on to that winter coat all summer long. and just matting up and looking back. So we got 2 sheep that's probably going to go to freezer camp very soon, very soon. And we're searching for replacements for those 2. And my preference this time is going to be St. Croix sheep. They're a hair sheep breed, just kind of like the Katahdins. You don't have to shear them. They're very low maintenance. I do like the Katahdins, but I'm finding out with some of the Katahdins, you need to selectively breed ones that does not carry that way back from years and years and decades ago gene that does not allow them to shed well during the summer. So we're going to be sending 2 to freezer camp and going to be looking for 2 replacement ewes to replace those, maybe even 3. And our little ram lamb is no longer a ram. He's a wether. Me and Susan, back when he was born, after he'd been born a couple of weeks, we banded him. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to go into it. But he no longer has the capability to breed. So no worries about him breeding anything that's in there, like his mother or sisters or aunts or nothing like that. He'll be going to freezer camp once he gets big enough. That's one reason we have the sheep. The main reason is for foot traffic, manure, urine, all that good stuff to rebuild our soil and our hay fields. The next reason is I love lamb chops. Okay, we grow our own food. And he's growing like he's on steroids. Good grief, is that little fella growing like crazy. And he's a wether now, which means like a steer. If you're not familiar with goat sheep terminology, a wether just means a castrated male. Just like a steer in cattle or a gelding in horses. He's been made into a wether, and that's what we wanted. And he'll be going to freezer camp when he reaches the appropriate age and the appropriate weight and builds up enough body mass and a good weight carcass for food for us. That's one of the reasons we have them here. And if I'd offend you, then don't come to my house for supper. Okay. We sprayed Prowl H2O on our fields a couple of days ago, and I'm glad to say it poured the rain for about 30 minutes the next day. Perfect. Okay, we moved our sheep yesterday to a new paddock, and they're in hog heaven in this new paddock. The paddock they were in below our west field, and I'm finding out sheep, I'm a new shepherd, and I'm finding out sheep are a lot. There's no comparison to goats. They're so much different, it ain't funny. These sheep are grazers, and any of the tall grass with a seed head on it, they won't eat it if they've got other things to eat. If they've got better grass down a little bit more, they don't want that tall grass. They'll pick around it. So if they have a choice, now if there's nothing else left, they're going to eat that tall stuff. And they like some weedy stuff, but they're, yeah, Lola, we hear you. Lola made me lose my train of thought. So we moved them, and they've left a lot of the tall stuff. In order to stimulate growth, we're going to go clip that field, that pasture, with our ATV and our pull behind Agri-Fab bush hog. So we're getting ready to yeah. Okay, we're getting ready to head that way with our bush hog and four-wheeler, so come with us. We are expecting rain tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. And you may be saying, Darren, why ain't you cutting your main field of hay? I still see it behind you back there, and it ain't even been cut yet. You're right. It has not been cut. We cannot catch a window to cut. We get 2 days of really nice, breezy, sunshine weather. Absolutely fantastic for making hay. Then the third day, we have rain in the forecast for like 2 days. Then it clears up again for about 2 to 3 days, then rain in the forecast after that. It's been that way for over a week now. We just can't get it cut. So we need 5 days. So the first time, the weather guessers put up on the extended forecast that we have 5 days of very low chances of rain. We'll be cutting the main field for hay. So be sure to stay around the channel for that. That'll be coming up. But for today, let's go clip pastures. Our rear west pasture is clipped, and I think this will really help. Everybody knows we're in the drought here in the southeast, and it's been bad. The water table is really down, and we've been getting some showers and some rain occasionally, finally, but we're still in a drought. The water tables are way down. If you go to the USGS geological surveys, the drought monitor folks says we're still in a severe drought, and we probably will be for, we need consistent rain every few days for a couple of months to get us out of this. And that's just gonna absolutely kill our hay cutting, but it is what it is. And it's all in God's timing, and we're not gonna fret over to worry about it. We've been getting some rain. You can see behind me the trees are swaying, and there's no sun out now. It's getting very overcast and cloudy. They're saying we will get rain, possibly some showers this evening, and it's about 1 p.m. now. And overnight showers and some showers tomorrow with the potential for heavy showers. So that will really be beneficial for these pastures and our hay fields too. Our west field and the test plot has already been cut and baled. You saw that video. That hay's in the barn, and those fields are in the regrowth stage. They've already been spread with urea, and they have already been sprayed with Prowl H2O. And we're just waiting on those hay fields and waiting on a 5-day window to finally cut our main hay field. It's way past prime, and the seeds are brown, and the stem's gonna start turning brown very, very soon. Some of them already are. The tall fescue is. The orchard grass is a little bit, it's gonna really start turning brown soon, but the timothy's not. And the red clover's still there and good, but it is what it is. And we'll cut whenever the good Lord gives us that window. But the little Agri-Fab bush hog run good, and all that type of stuff. This is way too steep a property to be on a tractor on. Man, it gets steep down through here. I about have to side saddle on that ATV to side hill it with this little pull behind bush hog, and it sits right on the ground. It hugs the ground, very low center of gravity. I think you could turn, I wouldn't do it, but you could turn that bush hog up almost 90 degrees, probably 85 degrees, and it would just go because it's got such a low center of gravity, which is perfect for these hillsides. And like I alluded to earlier, if that thing ever quits on me, I'm probably going to look into a pull behind flail mower instead of the blades and the rough cut bush hog. But it does a good job, and we're happy with it. This field's done, and I think we are going to move on to some other projects. Thank you for being with us today. I really appreciate it, as we got spraying done a couple days ago, and we've got our pastures clipped. They're all clipped now. This was the last one we needed to clip, and it's done. Now we're just going to let the good Lord bless us with some rain to get these pastures greening back up. Clipping them ought to really stimulate that with this rain coming and get them to going good. And in the meantime, we're doing animal husbandry too. We're making arrangements for appointments at freezer camp for a couple, and I'm on the hunt for some St. Croix ewes to replace those with. And if I can't find the St. Croix, we'll go back with the Katahdin, because I'm happy with them. I'm just not happy with those particular two. Some of those old genes in that bloodline, in the Katahdin bloodline, they're really old. If you go back, some of that's surfacing a little bit. They're shedding some, but not like the others. And the ones that's not shedding that winter coat as well, I don't want to pass that gene on. I want nice, slick looking animals. Comes late spring through the summer and early fall, and then coat up for the winter, and then repeat the process. So a lot less maintenance. And the animals do better too. When it gets 80, 90 degrees and they're not shedding that winter coat very well, it makes them miserable. And I don't want more animals with that same thing. Maybe it's a blessing those two didn't get bred. The good Lord has ways of watching out for you. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it. Come back with us for the next one. I pray God blesses you and your family, and we pray y'all have a fantastic day.